Hello, my friends. John LaRuffa here with another Unbiased unboxing. In this episode, we're going to take a look at Cthulhu Dark. Can't get the lights out there. Dark Providence. All right, let's get it. Take a look. Okay, folks, and as usual, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. If you really have, thank you very much. I really appreciate that support. All right, so interesting here. First of all, it's a Cthulhu game, right? But there's some different characters that I think kind of recognize. This game is based on the game of Studying Emerald, which goes back many years, at least 10, not longer. And I had that game before. I ended up selling it, and it didn't have a solo mode. But when I saw there was going to be a remake, I'm like, I really did appreciate that game. I'd like to give that a shot from a remake standpoint. So that's how I stumbled on this one, and I'm giving it a try. All right. I have not read the rulebook yet, but I had a little glance through it. And you're in for a decent amount of stuff here. So here's our components, introduction, some free digital content. Don't know what that is, but we'll find out. And then, okay, so we got the basic concepts. We've got the setup, cards, etc. And then we get into the gameplay on page 8. So it goes through that. Luckily, it looks like plenty of examples, which are really important. So I'm happy to see that. A lot of icons dotted throughout the rule book. And then you're done by page 14. So 6 pages of rules, not that many. Endgame's got a bunch of stuff here. And then how you determine the winner and stuff. So it does take some rules there. And then we have the solo mode starting on page 18. And that's a couple of pages there. And then how the game ends and how you determine the winner. All right, and then a good summary in the back, which I really hope is all I need once I've read the rules, which would be awesome. Okay, a little insert here. All right, now let's take a look at these components. So we've got some medium thick cardboard here, which looks nice and beefy. Okay, so we've got some tokens there. Bunch of character tokens here. And even though this is not a Fantasy Flight game, it seems like it's got the Cthulhu-looking artwork pretty well captured. I always assume that, for the most part, all of this stuff was Fantasy Flight for a very long time. So they are the ones that I take a look at first when I think about Arkham Horror, Eldritch Horror, that kind of stuff. H.P. Lovecraft, jazz. All right, so let's look at this board here. And if I remember correctly, it has been a long time since I played this, but there's a lot, oops, pardon me for bumping the camera. There is a lot of area control and area influence and stuff to this game, and that's a big part of the actual game. And so here we've got these different areas here with the notable cities in those areas. The board looks pretty clean. You've got this tracker here on the outside, single-sided, so it's going to go, most likely like that or something like, no, probably the other way around because you got these draw piles there. So we got that. Then we have these, they look like they're player boards. They're thin. They're not really boards. They're just kind of like paper tiles, so to speak. Got damaged a little bit. Which, you know what? I honestly don't care as long as they lay flat. That'll be fine with me. Because player boards that spin around kind of bother me. All right. Got a bag here. Interesting. So we have all these little spaces, which I'm assuming would be where we're going to put a lot of those tokens that we saw. We have one standy thing over here, and then these cards. Let's take a look at these. These look pretty wide and pretty large, so we're probably dealing with 120 by 80 millimeter size cards. Be my guess. It could be wrong, but that's where I guess at. Let's see if we're going to feel the need to sleeve them. And I will advise you on that. Okay. Luckily, these are quite thick. I don't think if you are not an avid sleever like me, you won't need to sleeve these. Now, I don't know how much they're going to get shuffled and stuff, so we'll see how that goes if I decide to pull the trigger or not. But these are definitely hefty enough for me and rigid enough where I won't feel like they're going to get marked or nicked or whatever by playing with them. So the usual artwork that you'd expect, kind of that horror theme. It is Cthulhu after all. You see a lot of the different elder ones that you're going to be dealing with here. All right, and I do like the fact that we've got the player aids here with the different actions and icons. I like that a lot. Whole bunch of cubes here in the player colors, I'm assuming, because as it is, this is an area influence game, so I'm pretty sure, at least the old one was, so I'm sure you're going to deal with that. And then here's a bunch of cards here. These are going to be our standard Magic the Gathering size cards. How do these feel? Also really good. So if you're not a sleever, I don't think you're going to have to worry about it at all. I, of course, am. So I'm going to sleeve these. So it looks like you've got a big focus on the artwork. A little bit of icons here. So here's Agent Monday, Agent Tuesday. I'm going to guess there's a Wednesday. Yeah. So it's obviously days of the week kind of thingy. All right. And then some different cultists and everything else. So there we have that first deck of cards. And here we have the second with some monsters and some different items that you'd kind of expect in a game like this. These all have blue backs on them, gates, etc. So lots of different things going on in this deck. Some probably helper agents also, and then some location cards here. There we go. All right. So, as usual, once I figure out how to play this game and understand it from a solo perspective, I will certainly let you know what I think about it. My hopes are high. I enjoy the content. I always enjoyed this theme. Just think it's kind of cool. And now that it is a solo mode, I can give it an actual proper shot from a solo standpoint. Okay, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Whatever you do in the future, I really hope you have a fantastic time doing it. Nothing to there. Take it easy, everybody.